Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your Devops SRE DevSecOps coach. I have close to 18 plus years of experience working in multiple MNSEs around the globe and having in-depth knowledge of DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. So I would like to introduce you one certification program in a DevOps, and that is we call it DevOps Certified Professional. Now this is a 2 months of program, 25 tools of DevOps you will learn, and apart from that you will also get the access to the LMS, lifetime access to the videos portal. It's a certification program, and you will have 25 assignments and 2 projects along with it. It's a completely weekend program, so here you have classes on Saturday and Sunday. So as part of this course, you will learn multiple things. Here you see that you will learn Linux, AWS, Docker, Jira, Confluence, Python, Git with GitHub, SonarQube, Maven, Gradle, Packer, Artifactory, Selenium, JMeter, Ansible, Kubernetes, Helm, Terraform, Jenkins, Datadog, Splunk, and Neuralink. Now, how do we, apply for this? So how can you reach out to us? So you have a WhatsApp number and email ID. So please reach out to us, and we'll help you to onboard this program. Apart from this DevOps certified professional programs, we are offering other certifications as well in a DevSecOps, SRE, and one of the very comprehensive programs which we have is in Master in DevOps Engineering. Yeah, so feel free to get in touch with us and then enroll for it. Thank you. So job. So let's say you want to do something with the help of pod. Something can be anything. Basically, you want to run some commands or some script, and this script you want to run only at a time. One time actually you want to run it. Okay. So in that case, and these commands will be running in the pod. Mind it, it will be running in the pod. So you want to run this one, and then once the job is complete, I mean this command is complete, a script is complete, the pod should be get, see, remember that what is the status of the pod. So pod will be pending, then running, correct now, and then it will
Mhm.
be completed. So running, it can be completed also. So what will happen, the pod will be, you'll be running the pod, okay, and that pod will do run this command and script inside the container, and then after that it will get complete. So this is a kind of task which you want to run in Kubernetes. Now this command and script can be anything, for example log extraction, some health check, some sort of things, anything, literally it can be anything. So now,
Yeah.
now if
Can that be done to actually like rotate this the secrets?
that can be done also, anything
Okay.
can be, yeah. So here, so I'm just putting up here one example I needed, Kubernetes job. Here you see that this reference you can use it, and job. So here if you see that there is one program which is called job. Now what you are doing, basically look at this, here you are running the Perl command, some mathematical formulas and algorithm you are running. So this can be literally anything, okay, that's what I'm saying. You have to
Okay.
visualize that it can be literally anything. So can I run this? So copy this and pi job.yaml and I, and save it, kubectl get apply hyphen f job.yaml. Oops, let me hyphen job.yaml, enter. Now kubectl get pods. See here, now this is the pod I'm talking about, and look at this, it's still creating, wait for it, and image will be downloading by now. So here you can run watch command, so see that output automatically every 2 seconds it will update. Seems like image is big, let me see that.
Mm.
Get pods, kubectl, and describe pod, name of the pod, and you see that pulling the images I told you, right? So it's could be the region for this. Downloading the image. Maybe it must be internet issues because so now you see that here, and wait for it. Now it's running, and
Oh.
look at this. There's an error. So error, it can be okay. So this error. Look at this here. What has happened? So this what do you say? This pod, this what do you say? This job which is running, and this is running here. Now this is coming error. So now what is the why this error? Check that. So kubectl logs and pod. Okay, there is a problem in the code itself, so that's the reason. So basically you can use another job, other image also. So this has some problem. The image which I'm using, this image has some problem, latest one. So that's the reason every time it is coming kubectl get pods, you see that here. So job is not getting completed, and because of that is running multiple pods. Okay, so here if you see the get jobs, see here, this job is running, and durations and completion has not happened. This job is not completed, and because of that they are running multiple error. This is the image issues. What I can do, I will just take this example from website, because this image got old or maybe some changes has happened. So official website also will have some example for it. So
Okay.
look at this. So yeah, so here this might be working. Here you have a specific one. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me delete the job. I will still keep creating the pod and keep showing me the error and all again. So how do we delete? Delete -f kubectl delete -f job.yaml. And I deleted. Now I'll modify this, and this is a not a latest. So if this is the official image, so it will work. So I'm going to apply. It will be faster because few layers will be already updated. So here you see the kubectl get jobs. Now spelling mistake, kubectl get jobs, and here it is. Now get pods, and you see, just wait for it. Container will be created. New image will be downloaded. Some of the layers will be common, so it will take less time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so taking time. So now, so literally anything you can do as part of this, and this will be completed successfully, and then containers pod will be in a completed state. That is what I wanted to show you. Just wait
Okay.
for it.
So how would you go about referencing to actually go and check the keys and change the keys? How would you actually write the
We'll,
YAML file to do so?
we'll see that. Yeah,
Okay.
just a second. So here you see that completed. Now it's done. Okay, so this is the way you can get the work done, and it's completed. Now whatever the job you wanted, if you want to see the logs of it, kubectl kubectl get pods first, and logs, and this is the pod. See that this is the output, 3.14 pi value. By the way,
Okay.
do you know that pi value, the uh, who's the first person on this planet who got this value of pi? That was Indian only, actually.
Yeah, Ramanujan.
Yes, so like that. Okay, so this is something. which we have. Now the next thing is, what is a cron? What is a cron job then? So basically, cron job is one, also is a job only. It will do the some commands and some script will run as part of the container of the pod. But the difference is this whatever I did, it will run only one time. Okay, you saw that it will run only one time and it got completed. But in the cron job, you will set like this pod will be created on certain interval. This it can be, you can set it up anything basically. Getting points? You
Yeah,
can
understood.
set
Yeah,
set it up
understood.
anything. So one example for it I'll want to show you. See here, cron job, and here this command can be anything whatever you want, but the only difference is this commands or script will run at this interval. Here you set the schedule. That's the only difference between the job and cron job. Okay, so
Okay.
that is a thing. Same way, now two things we have: config map and secrets. So what is a config map and what is secret? So I'll put it in this way. When you want to store some data, when I say data means it can be key and value format. Okay, and now it can be your password. Okay, it can be your secrets, I mean it can be your certificates, it can be your TLS data, it can be token also, anything key and value if you want to store it. Okay, but in the cluster only. Now where is the storage in the cluster? So basically if you understand the architecture, it is
Mhm.
etcd. So that is the place it will be stored. So now if you want to store the data in the cluster in etcd itself and then you want to refer it instead of using somewhere else, then in that case you can use config map and secret. Okay, so now
Okay, understood.
then you'll ask, why do we have a two things? So here config map do not encode this key and value, do not encode. I am saying encode, it's not encryption, mind it. Do not encode the key and value. Okay, whereas in a secret it basically encode that. Okay, I'm not saying encryption, mind it. Do encode actually, that's the only difference here. Okay,
So what do you
so
mean
how do
by
I
encoding? Are you referring to encryption? What is your
encode?
definition of encode?
Encoding means, let me show you something. So I'll give you an example. So let me show you just a second. Blog config map. So here let me show you, this is the one. This tutorial you can refer for the reference. Now
Mhm.
this is the data. Okay, this is the data, and now this data I'm copying in the one file which is this one. So this is the key and this is the value. Okay, so let me do that. First I'm showing you the demo of the config map. Okay, so
Okay.
mkdir cm cdcm, clear the screen, vi cm dot, this is a different file, right? This is the content file. This can be any key and value actually, and this value is pretty huge. And here you have it. Now what we are going to do, we are going to create a config map. So before that let me show you, do we have any config map? So get cm. So here there is one config map. Now I want you to find out why do we have this config map. Every namespace you get this particular config map. Okay, so the question is why we have it. Okay, you see that this config map here you also have in the system, though in the system there are so many other also, but we have it. So try to find out this answer. But yeah, so I will create one config map. How do you create? So create config map, name of the config map, and here from file, so this is the config map. Let me create in a default, mind it. Clear the screen, done. So now I'll just go and see that I created one config map. Now if you see this config map, okay, describe this config map, you can see the content. You see that this is the key, this is the value, so you can see it easily, no problem in it. Correct now?
Yeah, correct.
Correct.
Understood.
Yeah, now how do we use this config map? So here you can use in the pod. Okay, look at this here, the pod spec container, and if you see that here volumes, here the type is config map, and here I'm using the same config map, name of my config, and key is this one. So this is the Sorry. So this is
Hey,
the,
actually, hold on for one moment. Give me a moment.
yeah. Let me pause the recording till you come back.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so now, so if you see that here, config map is you can access it. Now, how do we use this config map? So if you see that here, pod.spec.volumes, here you are using the config map my config, and the key is this one, which and the value it will be the whatever the value of this key will be in this file, and this file will be in a path which you see that here, container mounts here. So that means this file myconfo.conf will be created inside the etc nginx and the value will save. So let me see that. So I have created config map, and now let me create a pod vi pod.yaml, save it, done kubectl, apply pod.yaml, and kubectl get pods. So it's creating first one. Okay, just wait for it. First one. It's taking a little time, must be pulling the images. Okay, so now here if you see that in this location, at these locations, that file content will be there. So basically config map, we use it for storing the content. Now this the data is stored in the cluster itself in a key and value format, and you can mount inside a pod and use that content value. Okay, now next thing is we have, okay, so now you see that here. Now let me show you uh, this one. I don't want to go inside that, and I want to show you these locations. Okay,
Okay.
ls here. See that this file is there, and I want to show you the content of it more. These locations and slash. See the same content, you got it, what you had it in value.
Uh,
Okay, so now the next thing is we have secret, and here I said you basically store the content the same way as config map, but basically we encode it. Okay, how do we encode it? So for that I want to show you some example for it. So Kubernetes secret, and now this is the one. So if you see that here, the only difference here, let's say this is the admin, this is the real key actually you want to store it, or this is the value you want to store it, username, and the password you
okay.
want to store this as a password. So what do you have to do? You have to encode it. So how do you encode it? Look at this here, save it. See, this is the admin, but it's encoded using base 64, so this will be stored in the secret. Okay, you cannot store this one, you can store after encoding it. Okay, so here we encoded the admin, which is a value, and this is the password, which is the value. And here if you see that this is the key, this is the key, and value is coming from here and here. Now if I show you here Look at this. This is the value. So it's not encrypted, it's encoded. Now, if you want to decode it, you can also decode it. That's not a problem. So let me show you this options to decode it. Secret has that built-in option, but command is also there. So I think this is the one. No. Wait a second. Base 64 Linux command to decode. Manually, I'm decoding it, okay? But secret will do that for you. That's not a problem. So secrets
Okay.
automatically, you have to just feed the encoded value and it will automatically decode it. So I think decode -d. So -d is not, I need some examples for it. So this is the one, yeah. So here in this fashion, you put this data, and this is the data, password will come, see? Now,
Okay. Understood.
so the only difference here is config map and secrets. Basically, it will, you have to encode the value first and then create a secret. So here, if you see that secret, username, password, I mean key value, and this is encoded format. Now, the beauty of the secret is they will decode it and put it in the pod. So here, if you see the pod, and here you see the volumes, the name of the volume secret, which is my secret, which I created somewhere here, okay. And then inside the container, if you see the mount path, here you are at this mount path, etc foo, this will be set. Username will be admin and password will be password itself. So this will be created, this file. Got it?
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. So that's the only difference here. By the way, there's some encryption method also, but which is not coming in a default way. You have to install some other app. Okay. So now what is the ingress? So I'll put it in a very simple way. Okay. Not complicating too much. So here, ms pent. So here, let's say this is my cluster. And now I have multiple services. Now this is the service 1, service 2, service 3, service 4. So now how many, if you want this service to be exposed from outside, for outside user, how many load balancer you need for this? Of course 4, right? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. And load balancer is very costly actually. So let's say I'm just talking about the four service, but in real time, what will happen? You may have a microservices, 50 microservices, 100 microservices. In that case, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to create 50 load balancer? That's going to cost you huge. So that is where we use a ingress. Ingress, you can say, is like application load balancer. Okay. So what you do? There is a two part of it. In the ingress, we have a two part of it. One is like ingress, which is called rule, which is nothing but a rule actually. And that second one is ingress controller. Now this is not inbuilt actually. This is coming from outside. So there's so many ingress controller is available. And now let me show you the first options available for this list of ingress controller DevOps school. I think I have written this tutorial. So here this one, okay, so multiples are there, okay, so multiples are there, and one of this, okay, let me just go for this one, spelling mistake actually. So a lot of ingress controllers are, this is the official page, okay. So here you see that these are the ingress controllers, so many you have it. When I started ingress, actually it was only 4 or 5. Now I am, in fact I am amazed actually, so many option has come. Yeah, see here. So now
All right.
one of the free one which is available, which is a Google's. Where is that? Google ingress controller, it should be somewhere. I'm not able to locate it. I think this one. No. Let me see that. Google. It's not coming actually. It should be. I have to read actually in detail. So Oh, I think Istio, this is the one. Engine, this is the one. Okay, this is the one.
Very
Okay,
nice.
so this is developed by uh, Google actually. They donated to Nginx. I mean, initiated by Nginx, but also contributed by Google. So now this is the Ingress controller. So as I said, two parts are there. You have Ingress, which is nothing but rules, and here Ingress controller. So this is one software actually. So what you have to do first, you have to deploy this software. How to deploy? I'll show you that one. So this is
Okay.
an
So,
Nginx
quick question.
controller.
Can you give me can you give me an example of some kind of rules that can be implemented?
I'm just showing you the demo. Yeah. So
Okay.
here you have Ngress controller. Ngress controller. This is the one service you will have it. Okay. Now what you will do? This service you will expose to the load balancer. Okay. Load balancer. Now,
Mm-hmm.
so here people will hit to this load balancer through the domain. There's a domain needed actually. I can fake it out. I don't have a domain right now. I can fake it out. I'll teach you how to fake it out. So here there is a domain hit to the domain. This domain will hit to the load balancer of Ngress controller, which is in my case I'm using this guy. What do you say? Nginx Ngress controller, which is open source. Okay, and
Cool.
then the moment you hit, they automatically go and read the rules actually. Rules. Okay, what it reads, it rules. So go and ingress controller will read the rule, ingress rules, IR. Now ingress rule, you specify something like that. Let's say your domain name is something like that. I'll just give you one example. Let's say rajesh .com. This is your domain. So you say, hey, if it is a Rajesh.com, that Rajesh.com, transfer to this service called Rajesh SVC. Okay. Now,
Okay.
if user is hitting to the path waste, okay, path waste and name based. So this is the um, login dot Rajesh Kumar, Rajesh.com. So if it is hitting this one, then do one thing, transfer this to this Ingress Rajesh uh, hyphen login service hyphen SVC. Okay, and then this is the default one. Okay, this is for the whole domain. Now this is for the specific subdomain, and you want to do for the name based also. So rajesh.com, okay, and slash register. I'm giving example. So hey, if you are having this one, this you it's a pathways. This is the pathways. Okay, this is the name based. So here you go for registered service. So this kind of rule you will write it in Ingress. Are you understanding?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'll show you some rules actually. Okay. So let me show you some rules. So Kubernetes ingress rule. Ingress rule example. Okay. So now here, let me show you some example. There's a lot of reading. See, this is the ingress, kind is equal to ingress. And what is this? This is a rule actually. Now, what is the rule? See, look at this here, rules. How many rules you have? Only one rule you have. Okay. And here in the one rule, what you are saying, hey, if that your domain name slash test path is coming, send that traffic to the test service here and the AT port. Look at this. Are you understanding? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So here you are saying, hey, anything rajesh.com, this is the type of it. This is the type of it. So anyone hit this test path domain name, then hit to this particular service on AT port. One more example, let me show you the downside. See here, you have a rules. How many rules you have? Only one rule. And this is again a path waste, and go to this particular resources, backend resources, storage bucket. So here you are sending to storage bucket. Okay, storage bucket means S3 bucket. You can use it, this one, for this. Okay, now multiple options are there. Here you see that path based and all stuff like that. Okay, here one more ingress rule. Here rules, one rule. Here you have one rule. Here you have a two rule. So if anyone hitting the foo.bar.com in the URL, then it will go to this
The
this is the
this
domain name. and if anything I add foo.bar.com/bar, it will go to the service one, and anyone who's hitting anything.foo.com and then /foo, it will go to service two. So like that you can write a rule. Getting my points? So this way what will happen, only one load balancer which will serve all the traffic, and by reading the rules you can transfer that things. Are you understanding now?
Yeah, I'm following along.
Yeah. So now let me try to deploy it. If it works in the node port, that will be super. So how to install it? So install Ingress certificates. Also you need it actually little bit long, but let me try. Okay. So if it works, super. So here this is the Ingress controller YAML file. I'm going to. I need to have a CPU also. That's a problem. Okay. Anyways, so here you have to prerequisite. So these are all the things you have to do that. So configure RBAC. These are the one common resources, and then finally these all you have to deploy. Custom resources right now not needed. So this is a maximum things which you needed. So here ingress resources and so on. So let me deploy it. So first I have to get this uh, um, cd mkdir ingress cd ingress and clone it. So this whole software, it's a big software. Let me try, but I doubt like I have so much of CPU and RAM, but
Mhm.
still the steps I can show you. It required lots of infrastructure actually, CPU and RAM and storage. So that's done. Now I'll go to this deployment, clear the screen. Now these all the charts are available. Now you know what, because I need this one, so I'll just run this. Done. I will run this. These all are RBAC. Okay, these all the requirement done, and this is also, oh no, this is not required, this is also not required, so only these two is okay. Now after that, this is a common resources and deployed, and now this is the config map for the ingress here, and this is the applications ingress controller. That's all. So now I deployed this. Now how do we query this? So get ns. So there is one, see here, this is the all the resources will be deployed in this namespace. So get all -n and this one. So no resources has been come so far, just wait for it. So kubectl get all. Okay, get all. So here replica set, so pod has come, this is the one, spaces. I'm just checking that ingress has been deployed or not. So I'm not able to locate so far. Here it's been deploying actually. So just wait for some time. Not so far. Okay, so kubectl. Okay, sorry, this I missed it actually. I got confused stating this one resources. So create custom resources not required, and I'll directly migrate to deploy ingress controller. So this command. Okay, this is open source. This is the paid one. Yeah. So enter. Done. Now kubectl get ns. Let me check. Get all -n is equal to, yeah. So now it's deploying. It will take few seconds. So now if you deploy this one, you have to, this is the pod, this is the deployment, this is the replica set. get service has to come actually. So here, this is the daemon set not required, and this is the way to check whether it has come or not. So here, so now it's running, but status is not ready. Just have to wait for it. It will take some time, and after that, how do we get access of Ingress controller? So right now I don't have a load balancer, so you can create a service with the node port. Okay, so let me create a service with the node port, and here I created a service with the node port. Now here you see this is a node port. Okay, so here you have pod, here you have a service, you have a deployment, here a replica set, and this whole application got deployed more or less. Okay, node balancer I don't have, so I'm not using it, and so on. So that's all. Now this is the installation option. So what you have to do now, check this pod whether it's running or not. See, there's the error. So error is what? Let me check this. kubectl logs -n. See, -n is equal to ingress, and you see here uh, sage running, but there is a problem in that. So let me describe this. There must be some, I know that there are some CPU issues. Let me check that. Describe pod -n is equal to ingress. See, I told you. So there's a resources issues actually. Wait. This is not the right issue. So here you see that scheduled happen, pulling successfully, pull the images, container got created, but readiness probe failed. And why it is failed? Here connection refused. So this IP address ping, IP address is issues, not reachable. So yeah. So here, when you try Ingress controller, always try in the cloud actually. So that will save lots of time actually. Okay. So now after installing, this is a installing. What you have to do, you have to write an Ingress rule, which is something like this. Okay. And then basically, first you have to do one thing. You have to Ingress controller. You have to map with the load balancer. Load balancer you have to map with the domain, and domain you hit depends on the rules. When you hit domain will send this to load balancer, load balancer to send all traffic to the controller, controller will check the
Is the
rules. And
domain the same thing as the endpoints?
no, domain means the www.google.com is a
Okay,
domain.
like the DNS name. Okay.
Yeah, DNS. Okay, and then it will check the rules, and based on the rules controller will send the traffic to this one. So I think this will be easier for you to try in the cloud. It will be easier for that. Okay,
Okay.
now there is a one step-by-step instruction I have written. Let me show you. So Kubernetes, but you need a little bit high CPU RAM and all. I know that for sure. So Ingress here. So you can try this one also. Here you have a complete reference. Some more try this. This you try with the AWS and all with the load balancer. It will help you. Okay. Now next thing is Helm. What is Helm? So do you know APT and Yum?
Yes, I do. The package managers. And I
Yeah.
know
So
like Helm is a package manager for Kubernetes.
correct. Yes. So using Helm, you can install YAML file, and this YAML file can be pod, deployment, service, PB, PBC, secrets, ConfigMap, jobs, cron job, whatever I taught you, that can be a YAML file. So now, how to install that Helm. So let me show you the quick demo. Let me check if I have installed it. So Helm is not installed. So how do I go ahead? Helm download, enter. Now this is the website, and here I'll go for the binaries. This is the 3 version which is there, which you should check. So mine is Linux 64-bit here. So copy this, download this utility. And the problem I'm facing in this my VM is having download issues for sure. Not sure why it is having, but download issues. So uh, let me check.
Well,
I'll
if
do
you
one
want, you
thing.
can use Brew to install this.
Which one?
Brew, Homebrew.
It's not a Mac actually, so
Oh,
that's the
okay.
problem. It's a Linux. Let me download manually because I don't want to wait. I know that in my system. Not sure why this is taking too much to download when I do in the this one. What to say?
Yeah, but
Uh,
even one of my Linux on my Linux environments, I do have Brew installed.
oh,
So I
is
can
it?
install.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I will just down. I downloaded it actually in my Windows machine.
Okay.
Let me log into this. So password Rajesh123. Yes, and let me download this. Go for download, and this is the one latest version I downloaded. Okay, so now I'll just take it from there. I'll not wait for it. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to cp to home Rajesh, and here this is the file. So tar hyphen zxvf, and here this is the file you got it, which is this one. And now this file I'm going to push to the path variable. So path, it can be move Helm to any one of the path location. That's okay. And now Helm is installed. So now when Helm is installed, what to do? What to do? So let me go to my user home, create one mkdir Helm cd Helm, and what to do? So there is a two way. Once you install the Helm, install the package, install chart. We call it a package means chart. We call it this is the package which in Kubernetes Helm we call it chart. Okay, install the chart by of someone else. Okay, and or you can create your own chart. Create your own chart. So first let me install the chart from someone else. So what to do? So there is a chart artifact have actually. So let me search for Helm charts. Thousands of charts you will get it. Not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one. Where is artifact have? Huh, here it is. Artifactshub.io. Remember that. So here you get a hell lot of charts. Okay, look at the number of
Okay.
charts. 11,000, and when I started hardly we had a 500 charts actually. Now so what do you want to install? Let's say Tomcat, or let's say Apache. So go for small because download it will take less time. So this is the chart. How do we install it? Simple, they have a commands. If you see that, click on the install. This command you run it, this will add the repository, and finally this will install the chart. Chart means package. Basically, you're installing Apache in your Kubernetes. So now I know that there's some internet issue, so this will be a problem here. Oh, it's added. So let me run the second one also. And then after running this one, you have to, it's got deployed actually. And now you want to check this Helm list, Helm show, all this thing you can do that. See, and you want to you can use a kubectl also, get pods. See here, this is the Apache here. Okay, so this way you can deploy the package chart which is developed by someone else. But the question is, how can I develop my own chart? So that I'll also teach you. So here I have to create a skeleton first. So Helm and hyphen H, I think, where is this option? And that options is uh, get create here, create. So Helm create hyphen H. Now there's options for this H, create name. Yeah. So let me create a one chart web. Now you see that this structure which got created, look at the tree. Oh, tree is not there. Let me install this tree. I need this. Done. So now here you see tree. Look at this. This is your chart and skeleton only. Okay. Don't think anything else, but it's skeleton. Now where is your YAML file will go? Look at, these are all YAML file, which is just for demo. It's all empty. There's nothing actually. Okay, so these all YAML file you can copy under the templates directory, deployment, HPA, Ingress, service, all this. You can keep it all in one file also. That's not a problem. And this is the meta information like chart name and all stuff like that. Web, who's the author, license statement, and all kind of things. Now if you want to parameterize this whole chart, let's say if you want to use it for every project, don't want to hard code anything, any variables in this chart, in this file, YAML file, then you can use this values.yaml. So here you can declare the values, and these variables you can use it here, and automatically interpolations will happen. So simple. So can I go ahead and feed that one chart? So let me copy some pod.yaml. So go back, and do we have any pod? So I think I have a pod already somewhere. Pod examples, example, and here. So now this is a simple pod example, right? So I'll just feed this pod dot in the Helm chart web. Here vi template pod dot YAML. Enter this. Remember that I have the pod name. I'll make it Helm demo. Okay, save it. Now I'll go and I need to deploy this chart. So this is my chart. Here I deploy this one, and rest of the files are empty. Okay, so how do I install it? So Helm install dot slash web. Okay, there's a problem here. Name, you have to give the name, right? So what is the name you want to give? So name Helm demo, something like that. I did this. Now look at this here, Helm list, Helm demo, and you want to see that pod got deployed actually or not. See that here, this is the pod. Okay, so this way you can create your own chart. Okay, feed all the files under the template directory and test it. Interpolations also it can be done through this, and so on. Did you understand that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
Well,
great.
somewhat. I guess I need to review this.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the things. Again, if you have any questions in future, you can put it in the chat group and I'll respond it to you. I'll share all the recordings in the next 1 hour, so you can review it all of this. Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Are we connecting tomorrow?
So if you have a topics, then we'll connect it. So you have to come. So whatever the topics which I wanted to
Okay,
cover,
yeah,
already is done.
let's have it go more Helm focused.
Yeah. So come up with a list of questions, and those will be covered. Come up with a list of all questions what you have, and then we'll have one sessions on that. Okay.
All right, we'll do. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay then. See you.
If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest.
Thanks for watching.